It's very hard to tell with whether our technology is affecting it or it's simply changing through natural causes.
Here we are, a bunch of guys from NASA sitting around in Silicon Valley talking about how we're going to engineer the whole planet, and we can't actually engineer the room temperature very well. And I think there are some lessons there.
The planet doesn't care about our human institutions. It just works on a heat balance equation.
One philosophy is geoengineering is such an attractive alternative to energy conservation or eliminating fossil fuels. It is so reliable, so cheap, requires so little transformation of the way people live around the world that we ought to get ready to rely on it.
Try to reverse some of the global warming effect by global cooling. They had suggested stratospheric aerosols. Well, another possibility is producing more clouds and reflecting sunlight.
All right, we're talking about a officially acknowledged fleet of some 740 U.S. Air Force tanker aircraft capable of flying thousands of miles and dispersing aluminum oxide. Barium on occasion, we're finding it in some samples, not others.
It's all obscured blue. It's like a pale haze. All these contrails have dissipated, turned into these man-made cirrus clouds here, and a few unidentifiable clouds that don't look like real clouds.
I want to grab people by the shoulders, and when they're spraying, and when it's so obvious, I want to take every single person that I encounter and shake them by the shoulders and say, look up, look what our government is doing to us.
To think that somehow the biosphere is like our time scale, but it's not, and it doesn't care about us.
Never before in our lifetimes have we experienced such weather extremes and dramatic climate in such a short period of time. The sudden climate change has the full attention of scientists and climate institutions around the world. The debate is open as to what's mainly driving weather extreme. It's political, complex, ranging from Earth and solar cycles to automobile and utility emissions. Numerous climate studies have weighed the man-made and natural causes that could be contributors to global heating and changing weather patterns. But there's a wild card not factored into mainstream climate change analysis, say researchers. These are the effects from deliberate weather modification and weather control. For decades now, the Earth's atmosphere, a fragile life support, has been the platform to advance the scientific craft of weather control. Some researchers claim the ongoing aerosol programs, together with electromagnetic direct beam technology, may have permanently altered the Earth's baseline weather pattern. Plans to leverage the powerful forces of nature have been on the table in think tanks for years, says physicist Ken Caldeira. He's a senior scientist with the Department of Global Ecology at Stanford University.
I used to work at Lawrence Livermore National Lab, and I once participated in a meeting where we all sat around the room and thought about how could we manipulate geophysical systems to use it as a weapon. The meeting was about weaponizing geophysical interventions. That means, could you somehow interfere in Earth functioning in a way that you could use it as a military weapon? Could you change climate? What could you do in terms of manipulating the sort of Earth's physical systems as a weapon? Well, some of the ideas were okay. Maybe we could blow up hydrogen bombs, underwater, offshore, and make a tidal wave that would go over a city. And the result was, well, isn't it easier just to drop the hydrogen bombs on the city? Now you could imagine, though, say putting pathogens in a cloud. Let the cloud, go over somewhere, and then would rain down on your enemy and create, do chemical or germ warfare in this kind of way. And that might work against something that we say is big as the former Soviet Union, where, you could be pretty sure that within a few days that cloud would rain out.